Hey everybody, welcome to the Voice Recap Show at the News Herald. I'm David Komer.
Carol Brown.
And I'm Andrea Blum.
And we're going to discuss the Voice going forward through the battle rounds until the end of the season. And guys, so far, battle rounds just started this week. We've had 2 shows. They've introduced the Steel. What do you guys think about the Steel? I know, Andrea, you had some thoughts.
I'm a big fan of the Steel. I think it is an amazing invention to kind of make it a little more suspenseful, and it just kind of brings some more drama to it. Plus it also gives a chance for a lot of the great singers, you know, who don't get picked to have a second chance. One specific incident, I only saw Monday's show, but the last battle between, and I can't remember the names, Amanda and the 18-year-old
Trevin.
guy.
Trevin,
yes.
Hunt. Yes,
that was
Amanda
a case
Brown.
of probably one of the best duets I've ever seen on one of these singing competitions. And the fact that CeeLo had to pick one of these 2 was crazy. And you know, even he admitted they shouldn't have been put together because they're both phenomenal. So I think the Steel in that case was amazing because they both deserve to still be around. So, and I know the other 3 were really quick to snap up Amanda, so I think that was a great development.
I thought he undervalued Amanda Brown.
He completely
And
did.
he totally thought she would be cannon fodder. What do you think, Carol?
Yes, I do think that's what he thought. And I had picked Amanda.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I thought she did a better job, but I thought Trevin, he's got more upside, to use a sports term. You know, we've only scratched the the surface on him. But I think she's much more a finished product, being the 27-year-old club singer from the Bronx. But let's just talk about, before we get into the matchups individually, Carol, you do think the Steel is a good idea? You like it?
Oh yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I think the second chance aspect is awesome, and helps let them circulate a little more. I hated the idea of it at the beginning. I just thought that you're making up a wrinkle that's going to be stupid, and it's just one more chance for you to hit the buttons. But once you get to see, I mean, we saw last season, there's some really good singers that really kind of got the short shrift just because of a tough matchup or a song that didn't fit them in the battle rounds. So now let's talk about the celebrity coaches. Adam has Mary J. Blige. You've got Billy Joe Armstrong with Christina, which is, I think, before rehab for Billy Joe.
Yeah.
Because he just entered, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You've got Blake with Michael Bublé and CeeLo with Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20. So, you guys, what do you think of the celebrity coaches?
Some of those are interesting pair-ups. You know, I wouldn't expect CeeLo to be with Rob Thomas, really, and Billy Joe Armstrong, never would have expected him to have anything to do with the show. It just, you know, with his kind of pop-punk, you know, rebel roots. But, you know, I think
turning American Idiot into a Broadway show?
Yeah.
I think the punk credibility went out the window with that.
Probably.
But he's trying to get some back now in rehab, but I'm just kidding. It's a disease. So anyways, Andrea, where were we?
But no, I think they did, I think all of them, you know, had some valuable advice to give, and I wasn't, you know, put off by any of them. I think they all did a really good job.
Carol, do you like the choices?
Yes, I do, and for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Mary J. gave good advice, and it was taken right away. And
Yeah.
Well, I'm an unabashed Michael Bublé fan. Do you have an issue with him?
I do.
Are you willing to put that on the shelf?
Yes, I am letting that go, even though it should be Harry Connick Jr. on there. He's
I
a poor man's Harry Connick Jr., but, you know, we'll leave that alone. So I'm sure he's a very nice guy.
I both respect and understand your opinion. All right, well, guys, we're talking battle rounds. The first matchup was the gritty Scottish rocker Terry McDermott going against the Casey Music Man country singer, and they sang Kansas, Carry On My Wayward Son. I pretty much thought Terry took it from word one. Pretty much same thoughts here.
I thought so too, but it felt like that song was handpicked for him. It was perfect for him, but he did it well. Right,
and Terry, as the National Haircut of Scotland, we've decided, going off the girlfriend of Danny in Caddyshack, who's also from Scotland. All right, anyways, moving on, Team Adam, Brian Keith, the famous father in the music industry, going against Colin McLaughlin, who left grad school to pursue his musical dreams. They sang Santeria by Sublime. Brian took it. I thought he'd do a little more with it because it fit his vocal stylings, but, you know, it was a pretty interesting matchup.
Yeah, I have to say I was prepared to like Brian more because I really did like him in the audition rounds. He had sort of a raspy, kind of soulful quality to his voice. But in this battle, I ended up liking Colin more. He just had a pure voice. The tone of his voice was just so pure. Even on this song, which really didn't call for it, Santeria is more kind of a gritty type song. But he just kind of won me over because I hadn't really paid attention to him before.
Must have been his dancing.
That could have been it.
He looks like he's 6'5".
So yeah, I would have went with him.
I was surprised Cody, no, what was his name?
Brian? Oh, Brian against Colin?
Colin. I was surprised Colin did so well. I picked Brian on the first night, possibly being a contender all the way, but I did like his better, but I'm glad Colin got picked up on this team.
Well, hey, Team CeeLo had Peruvian Diego Val singing Jesse's Girl going against Alaskan YouTube sensation J.R. Aquino. Diego ends up taking it. I'm a JR guy. I was also disappointed JR did not get stolen. And it's kind of a cop-out to me when someone's a finished product, so to speak, according to CeeLo, who obviously couldn't pick a reason to get rid of him. But he ended up going out, and kind of, I wasn't too happy, but...
I wasn't either. I was a JR fan, and I was surprised nobody activated the steal on him because he is very polished, and he's just ready to go and ready to have a career. And
that seemed to be where CeeLo had the problem.
yeah, I don't see that at all. Invalid reason.
Exactly. Well, Christina with former Nigerian refugee Nelly's Echo going against the lovable misfit Deborah, who's she really did a great job on a song she didn't really know very well, The Police's Message in a Bottle. I'm a Nelly's guy. Again, we talked about it. He almost seemed better in warm-ups than when he was actually on stage. But Deborah, I thought, did outsing him.
Yeah, she kind of brought it. After not knowing the song, I would have had to have gone with her too, even though this was so perfectly suited to Nelly's voice. And like I said, he was just like, his voice was like honey in that warm-up. And then he got to the stage and he just kind of lost something. I think just Deborah prepared more and she just kind of took over.
He's kind of overdoing it with the vocal theatrics.
Yeah.
Which if that was Team Christina, well, actually, of old, I think she would have loved it. Mm-hmm. Anyways, going on, you had the yodeler 18-year-old Gracia Harrison against the mother-daughter, two Steel girls, singing Dixie Chicks. Gracia takes it. I think we're pretty much all in agreement. She was better.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like there were three people battling up there. They didn't seem like much of a duo.
Right. Exactly. And I'm really interested
Gracia would have beat them both separately as well.
Right. I really like Gracia's voice. Interested to see what she can do, though, maybe with a different genre of song. Kind of disappointed in that song choice by Blake, but...
I didn't even know that song, but...
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not a country fan.
Sid Wagon.
And he played it up as the biggest country showdown, throwdown of the whatever.
Right. Well, see then, again, we had the steal in play. Much like the first steal was Colin, who ended up going with Blake over CeeLo. And I think we're all excited to see what will happen there. Well, we had another steal, and this one was even better just because, for personal reasons, we all liked the gritty New York club singer, Amanda Brown, going up against the 18-year-old Bronx prodigy, well, actually from Queens, New York, Trevin Hunt. Trevin, in sports terminology, more upside, bigger potential, maybe. Amanda Brown, though, more polished, more smooth, ready to go. Trevin takes the choice by CeeLo. I think CeeLo picks him just because he wants to work with him. Yeah. And Amanda, though, gets stolen and ends up going with Adam.
Yeah, that was one of the best duets I've ever seen, and I would have been hard-pressed to pick one. And I think, like CeeLo admitted in the show, he shouldn't have paired those two together because they both definitely deserve to go on. But Amanda is really polished, and I think she was kind of hiding sort of a dark horse because we didn't know how great she was before. Whereas Trevin, I remember during his audition, my jaw was just kind of on the floor because his voice is ridiculous. And I don't know, I probably would have picked Trevin too just because I think he has a lot more potential, but he needs to work on his confidence. I don't know how someone with that kind of voice cannot be confident, but if he kind of, believes in himself a little bit more, I think he could take the whole thing.
Yeah, well, he's pretty young, and at least you can say CeeLo's consistent because his option for not keeping JR was was more polished and finished, and he thought he could do more with Diego. So I guess you could say that, you know, Amanda's a little more, you know, kind of wash and wear, ready to go. But again, kind of neat to see the steel in play. And now we go, obviously, to Tuesday. The feisty dancer from the Bronx, Damo, potato, going against the country soul singer, Cody Ballou. Cody ends up taking it, and CeeLo basically admitted it wasn't because one or the other outsung each other. He just wants to hang out, I think, with Cody.
Yes, he was amused.
Right. And I really thought Damo, if you will, would have really taken it a little farther, singing Lady Gaga, kind of in her wheelhouse. It was more interesting to see Cody kind of push himself. Anyways, going to Team Christina, we had a Quill going against Natalie Hernandez, the 15-year-old small-town talent show girl. And I thought a Quill just crushed it. Natalie, great rasp, really interesting, but I think we're both in agreement here, Carol.
Yeah, a Quill had to win that one, but I liked Natalie, and I was surprised she didn't get picked up. She's so cute.
I know. Plus, I really think her voice is really been kind of like a blank slate. You can do so much with it, and she is so young. But maybe there's a point of, you know, a point where you're just too young, maybe for a show like this when you get to this point, unless you're at a certain level. So there's only so much coaching you can do.
Maybe she'll be back next year.
That's true. Now, Team Christina, you had Cecilia Westbrook against the ex-gymnast Lisa Swinton. Again, we didn't even get to see them. One of the biggest complaints for the blind auditions has been when they gloss over what happened and don't even show the person singing. This one I got a big problem with. Cecilia Westbrook wins, the Tennessee high school student, but again, we didn't really get to see anything. Now, unfortunately, they did the same thing with the Team Blake matchup. The smog technician Charlie Ray and the dedicated father with the old rocker look and the country voice, Rudy Paris. But again, that time, at least there were two guys with backstories that we had kind of embraced from the blind auditions. And then we get jobbed on seeing them sing against each other. At least you could make the argument the previous matchup, we didn't really know too much about either one. Although it is kind of a jip at this point with battle rounds. But Rudy takes it over Charlie, and I would have loved to have gotten to actually hear him.
Yeah, they need to find other areas of the show to cut the banter with the judges, or some other areas, because if you can't get a chance to see some of these matchups, American public can't throw its support behind these guys.
How much preparation do we really need to see? Sometimes we see like as many as 3 rehearsal scenes, leading up to it.
And skip the limo and the walk-in. Give us the people singing.
Exactly. Hey, they have to drive up in a Kia before we get to see them.
Oh, is it a Kia?
Yes. They have to get out of the Kia, product placement, before they can walk the red carpet to get ready for the performance. Just like that's what Carson has to drive before he delivers the cars. The last matchup of the night, it was a bit of a barn burner, just because it was so evenly matched. Team Adam had Caitlin Michelle, the 20-year-old music theater student who suffers panic attacks, going against the 17-year-old Melanie Martinez. She had the two-tone hair, the gap in the teeth, the most lovable gap in the teeth, I would say, since Michael Strahan. And she's got the kind of the indie look, the indie sound, the rasp, the whisper. But Caitlin Michelle, who did Florence and the Machine in the blind audition, more of the power voice. And Melanie Martinez was the choice of Adam. What do you guys think? What did you think, Carol? You like that one? You thought it was kind of a draw, right?
Yeah, I wasn't enthused with either one of them. Not that Caitlin did anything wrong. It wasn't my kind of performance. But I'm glad nobody went home from that one.
Right. You end up having the steel in play, and both Blake and CeeLo pushed their buttons for Melanie, and you had Melanie ending up with CeeLo. So that'll be interesting going forward. She's kind of a power voice, and again, if she can master her power over the panic attacks, we'll see what she can do. So you never know. And with Melanie, I want to see more. I got to hear more of her raspy whisper. I really hope she pushes it and does some things that are out of her comfort zone. Have her do a country song. Have her do a rock song. Let's see what she's got.
We need to see more of the quirkiness. The quirkiness can only get you so far. So,
right.
And I wasn't that impressed with her when I saw her in the audition round. So, yeah, she's got to bring it.
Exactly. Well, speaking of bringing it, we're going to bring it to you next week and check back with us, and we'll give you the recap and what we thought. Share your thoughts with us on our Facebook page, and until next time, we'll see you later.
See ya.